And we are good. Sweet. Guys, welcome back to the Joyage Kingdom. I'm Cade, your guide. I'll be replacing the voice and strategy for now, giving you a break from the constant internal monologue that is the human mind. I want to say first, thank you for listening or viewing on whatever platform you're on. If you haven't already, please click that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Join the kingdom. Today, I'm joined by CryptoWendy, super OG in the crypto NFT space, and I'm just super pumped to be here. So thanks for coming to the show.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Yeah, this is exciting. Make sure to smash the like button. And I think I got my first NFT in 2019. I went to a consensus and they gave NFTs out. So it was super
What?
interesting.
Wait, what did they give you? Just like a random one? Is it well
I don't
known?
even know. I just know that it was a pain in the butt to do because things weren't as cool as they were like easy to do today as today. So I don't even know where the wallet is. It might be on one of my old computers.
Damn. You think? Oh shit. Do you think it's a punk?
No, definitely
No.
not.
I heard people were literally handing those out at one point.
Well, they used to do that with all the early NFT projects. Like that's how you get people excited. Is you
Mm.
used to hand them out. But the space NFTs have like completely, they've done a lot of cool things. So I'm excited about them. I like them. I just feel like we need to be a lot more built out. We're not anywhere where we need like the 10,000 Jenner pieces. Okay, cool, but that's not really the intended purpose of NFTs.
Yeah. What do you think about that? By the way, the current state of everything. I know you've been super consistent, guys. For who's watching this, super consistent in the Web3 space as far as content. What are you seeing right now?
It's just bear market stuff. Honestly, like I knew that we were going to get an 85% pullback approximately because Bitcoin has always operated in a 4-year cycle. So we kind of knew that we were going to get that because I do a little bit of trading also. I just didn't know what events were going to cause us to drop. We haven't hit my target of around 10K yet. I don't
Mhm.
think we've capitulated yet. I think that we will. It's just a matter of time. And again, 4 years, like when you're looking at cyclical stuff, like the cycles are still valid until they break. So it could break, I could be wrong, but we're starting to see the miners start to capitulate soon. So as far as what's happening, this is typical bear market stuff. Like the thing is, if your project has not dumped like 80 to 90%, then there's something that you're doing that's not normal because every single altcoin has dropped approximately that. Bitcoin is a bit of an outlier. So is Ethereum and some of the top stuff, but most of the stuff has gone down 80 to 90%. So it's all cyclical. It's all part of it. Best thing to do in this time is to continue to make content, network, and hone on your skills, whatever you're good at.
I was gonna say I've had a lot of awesome business opportunities and just things I didn't have time for in the bull run, which is really nice as far as content. I'm sure you know. I mean, it was so fast. Like if anything happened, you like had to be there first as soon as possible, covering on the live streams and stuff like that. And it was a
Yeah.
crazy time. But the cool thing is about you is that you've ridden through multiple of these massive upticks and downswings.
Just this
And
is my second bear market. Like I
okay, on.
started, so I got into crypto end of 2017. Of course, I bought
Okay.
the top because
Oh yeah, of course.
I heard about Bitcoin back in 2011, and back in 2011, nobody was touching Bitcoin. No one was touching it unless you were like super tech smart, you were a gamer, you were somebody that needed to do something tech wise from my
Mhm.
personal experience. So I wasn't, and then I ended up, hearing about libertarian radio, buying in, then taught myself how to trade. But this is my second bear market, and it's very similar to the last one, but except the only difference is that we have a lot more people in the industry, and you can tell that by looking at the total market cap, and we have NFTs. And I think without NFTs, we wouldn't be as we wouldn't it would be a lot worse than what we're seeing today.
Yes. Yeah. I was gonna say. So you had your first shill of crypto in 2011. You said.
Yeah, it was my stepson. He was like, "Can I use your credit card to buy Bitcoin?" I was like, "Hell no, I don't know what this stuff is. I just heard about it on the dark web. Like, I'm not touching it." I didn't have a credit card because I had bad credit at the time. I think I was making like $9 an hour. I was like, "You cannot use my credit card." Or I was like, "You're not taking my money. I don't know what this stuff is." But yeah, heard about it in 2011.
Wow.
My stepson has very expensive computer pieces that he purchased online with Bitcoin.
Got it. Got it. Wow. That is wild. I think the first time I heard about crypto is a bit later. I'm definitely late-ish to the part. I was fine on the NFT journey, maybe. Well, I guess compared to you getting an NFT in 2019, so you've gone to a ton of these conferences, right? Like over the
Mhm.
past few years. What has changed and like how different are they? Are they any different?
Yeah, they're so different. So when back in 2017, 2018, 2019, you would have to pay thousands of dollars to get into these conferences. And basically, it's a bunch of people shilling their ICO. Okay, great, fine. I'm a poor person. I grew up super, super poor. And I started hosting my own meetups. The reason why I started hosting my own meetups is because I was like, F this. Like, people should not, like, Bitcoin was created for the people, by the people. We don't need this big wealth gap barrier. And I also think that a lot of problems we have in America, a lot of the societal issues are more so wealth gaps and problems. That's debatable. People can argue with me all day long about it, but I really think that that's a huge issue. Part of it. So back then, you would have to spend a lot of money to go to these conferences. They were super boring. They were super stuffy. But now, like with the NFT community and the Web3 community, they're a lot more fun. They're a lot more exciting, and there's a lot more creativity, expression, and it's a lot like I actually get to see girls at events now, which is cool because I was like the only girl there for a long time. But they're a lot more fun. And if you're somebody who can't afford to get in the conference, try to go to the networking stuff afterwards. There's generally free events that you can get yourself into, but that's where all the deals and that's where all the good stuff happens.
Were you able to go to the events this year? Like
Yeah,
NFT
I went.
NYC, Art Basel, were you there?
So NFT NYC, it just seems like a hot mess.
It was. It was.
Yeah, so I went to Art Basel. I emceed at CentralCon. I hosted 4 panels there. That was the only conference I did because like the NFT stuff, and I don't know why the NFT industry is like this. Like NFT and crypto, they're like completely separate, even though NFTs literally are cryptos. They're like one of one. But like they have all this stuff segregated and separate, and it's like the NFT people feel like they're up here, post the crypto people, but they don't understand that like they need cryptocurrency technology to do blockchain technology to do whatever it is they're doing. So everything was just so scattered. Like it was so Miami was fun, but I have a mutant ape. I didn't even go to the party. My issue with the NFT parties and the events is you have to register with your NFT to get in, which I get, but I don't carry my NFTs on my phone because I feel like that's dangerous and you could get scammed and phished and hacked so much easier.
Yeah, definitely. What aspect of crypto interests you? Because as I come through a ton of the videos on your channel, and one thing I've heard you mention more than I'd say other users I've watched is your kind of. It seems like you really fuck with the idea of decentralization, and I feel like a lot of the new wave pretty much don't give a fuck about that. I mean, that's what we just saw with all the decentralized exchanges capitulating on themselves. What are your thoughts on decentralization? Are you like a Bitcoin maxi? Are you in that crowd at all? Or you kind of do your own
No,
thing?
I don't. I could cuss.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't fuck with the Bitcoin maxis because they're toxic, and I don't fuck with cult mentality. One of the things we talk about on my channel a lot is using critical thinking. I tell my audience to hear what I say, but listen to themselves. And that basically means come to my channel, hear what I'm talking about, go to your channel, hear what you're talking about, go to all these different things, and also go to your people that you 100% don't like and disagree with and get your information with them. The reason why you want to do that is to expand your mind. I personally want my audience to make as much money as ethically as possible and to improve their quality of life. And when I talk about like, because I grew up super poor and I kind of grew up like around the streets and stuff. So when I talk about operating in a true decentralized economy, I mean it because I didn't have like, it was just like the streets kind of self-regulate themselves. Like if you go and you piss somebody off or you go somewhere you're not supposed to be, that's kind of what happens. So I'm able to separate that and also to have a different mindset. And so I think operating in a decentralized economy is important. And anytime we talked about centralized exchanges, like we're always if you're going to keep money on there, you should be an active trader. Don't, try to use self-custody. If you want to stake and use a passive income, because I was a big advocate for the staking and earning the passive income with APY and the exchanges, but for moonbags. And that basically means after you've taken your profit and your initial investment out, so that if something happens, you're okay. Because I got my money taken from me on Cryptopia back, I think in 2018 or 2019. It sucked.
You did?
Yeah. I was like 5 figures, which was a lot for me back then. I was like, oh, well.
That's a ton of money in general. Oh my God, you lost 5 figures. That hurts.
So it was like 10 grand or something, but still it was a lot for me back then. I was like,
Holy moly. Yeah, that is fucking crazy. I remember when my first ever big bag came from like an accidental mistake in crypto, which is like the story for so many people. It's kind of sad when I say it now because I'm like, oh man, that probably is how a ton of people got their intro to crypto. I thought I was all special, but basically I had been shilled Dogecoin on some random TikTok trend like 2 or 3 years ago, and I had bought in. I was a surfer at the time. I was making tons of money. My friend was like, dude, just sink a few $100. He's like, just put $1,000, and I was like, no. And he goes, okay, just put like $200. And I said, okay, well, we'll put in 400, I think it was. And I think I put in 400. My money doubled like a few days later because of TikTok. Pulled half my money out. So I'm so glad I did that because otherwise I would have pulled all of it out. And then I forgot about it for like 2 or 3 years or something. And then the 2021 bull run kicked off. And then that's when I got the text and it was like, bro, open your Robinhood account. And I was like, what? He goes, Dogecoin's at 7 cents. And I literally lost, I don't know where I was. I think I may have been at work, and I just ducked out, and I couldn't believe it. I went on my phone. I had never seen so much money in my bank account before. So shout out Dogecoin, and then shout out Journey Crypto for telling me about dollar cost averaging at that point. I'm so glad I learned that. But do you have any stories like that where you had just, I don't know, a massive dub?
Yeah, so, like, when John McAfee was shilling when he had the project of the day, it was, like, end of 2017 or 20 or, like, January 2018, like, he would tweet about a coin and would go absolutely stupid.
Mm.
So, I had some of those bags that he tweeted about, like, Verge VGX, like, I made, like, 10 grand on that, and I was like, "Oh my god." And then Dogecoin, I bought Dogecoin at 40 to 60 Satoshi, so it's way under a penny. So
Okay,
I
nice.
put, like, $1,000 in, and then I cashed out 10,000, and then I still have a bag on Bittrex that's just kind of sitting there. So if it does pump like crazy, it is what it is. But yeah, I've had some stories like that, and then some other really, really small liquid stuff that
Yeah.
because what you used to do back then is you would go to CoinMarketCap, you would go to like the last page, like page 7 through 9, because there's only 9 pages back then, and you would pick like the most illiquid garbage, and eventually it would pump, and you would just get. And I wouldn't shill it, I wouldn't tell it to anybody, and I did okay on some of that stuff. But then I actually did learn how to trade, so I did okay with that. But yeah, you would get those crazy like random pumps, and it was just insane.
Trade is way harder than it sounds like. By the way, for anyone who watches and thinks that he can just crypto trade, that shit is super hard, and it
It's
is pure.
hard.
I feel like I'm literally just chasing shadows the entire time. And every now and then I'll get a win, and then I'll take all that money and lose somewhere else doing like shitcoin trading or anything like that. Did you ever participate in like Wall Street bets or anything along that sort?
No, no, because that's all like they're literally pumping stuff. They're
They
pumping and
were.
dumping it, and I'm like, I tend to stay away from those things because it's just I don't know, I just don't like it. Like, we know that there's pump and dumps that happen in crypto all the time. We know that if a brand new coin is getting listed on an exchange, it gets an exchange pump, or
Mhm.
if there's an ICO or IEO or whatever it is, if you get in early, you're able to capitalize on that pump. But I've made videos explaining to my audience how those work and how risky they are, and you have to be able to take profits super, super fast. And that's why I've told people, like, any of the pumps that we see,
Mhm.
if you didn't get in early, don't buy that thing. Wait like a month and wait for it to run and drop, and then it bottoms and it goes sideways. And that's when you want to accumulate if you've done your research and it makes sense for you.
Of course. Do you remember when ApeCoin went out and the entire crypto world was so excited? I remember every single exchange was tweeting about it nonstop. I thought it was the weirdest thing. It felt weird to me because of how coordinated everything felt, and I knew it was because everyone was gonna win. It just felt so weird watching all these exchanges pump like the same coin, like specific coin, you know. And I'm not sure. What were your thoughts on the whole thing when it first dropped?
So I played that really, really well. Well, not so well, but I did get the ape drop, the ape coin drop, because I had two mutant apes at the time. Both I bought under 7 Ethereum. That, or it was actually
Just
almost a
casual
year.
flex, no problem at all.
No, well,
No problem at all.
I sold one for I made like 17 ETH off of it after I made my moon bag, but I have a mutant ape I'll never sell because I made a moon bag. But I got the
Ah.
ape coin, I got other side, I got all the drops and everything. So super, super exciting. But of course it was, I mean, was it coordinated? I don't know if it was necessarily coordinated, because when you have a project that's so hyped up, of course people are going to want to list it. So
Sure.
I think the name of the game is understanding the market doesn't care about you, it doesn't care about your feelings, and you're here to get as much money as ethically. And also too, I didn't sell any of my ape coin, for those that are asking. I was an idiot, I didn't sell, I got
You didn't
too
sell any?
euphoric. I didn't, I'm so stupid. But
Oh my god.
I know, smack me, I know. But that was a mistake that I made, and I'm okay to talk about my mistakes. I'm okay to talk about my mistakes and my good stuff I did, because that's how we learn. And also too,
Absolutely.
any if you guys are watching this, any trader that says they have a 10 out of 10 strike rate, forget it.
Yeah.
They're full of it. Like, if you have a 60% strike rate, you're doing good.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. There's tons of traders, man. It's nuts seeing the explosion of crypto and NFT channels. But it was also wild seeing the growth of certain channels. Like some of the OGs really, really saw some crazy success this year. Especially certain people that I was really excited about, like Benjamin Cohen. I just love
So
his
nice.
content. And yeah, he just seems like a super nice dude, and I really liked his content. His stuff really actually helped me, and I remember that because I would have considered myself like a crypto newbie, relying on the YouTubers to tell me what to do, basically. And I'm very glad that
That's
I
your
found
first
certain
mistake,
people.
and that's your I'm gonna yell at you for that. You
Tell me,
never
tell me.
want to listen to somebody else. Like, I don't understand, and this is the thing that I scream about on my channel, and no offense, but people we idolize, not me, they idolize rich people, they idolize celebrities, they idolize people that have lots of followers and money or whatever it is. I think it's the dumbest thing because those people literally don't care about you. They don't know you exist. They're making money off of you, which I get. It's all a hustle, it's all a game. But at the same time, like if you ask me who my hero is, it's my great aunt who passed away. It's not, I would never idolize somebody that I see on TV. Why? Because it's weird to me. Like, you can be like, oh, what they did, this was inspirational, this was dope, this was cool. But to sit there and idolize somebody you don't know, I don't know. So I don't get why people like care about crypto YouTubers so much. Like, I love people to subscribe to my channel to hear what I say, but I don't want you
Mhm.
guys to listen to me. I don't want you guys to like do what I say, because at the end of the day, my capital is different than your capital. My life is different than your life. We have completely different things happening. It's important to take little bits and pieces that you resonate with me from, but don't listen and don't copy what I do.
Yeah. No, I would say the what you were saying at the end there towards as far as taking bits and pieces from certain different people. I'm glad there are certain people that I found versus others. Is more what I meant. Just because when you have no idea, you don't even know which way to turn. And I think I found Benjamin Cohen and Johnny Crypto. That's probably it. And then just a couple other people just randomly I would watch throughout the time. But it just wasn't anyone who was super extravagant with like, I made this much money this week. I didn't watch any of the trader people, just people who understood the game macro level and were able to explain those concepts and like how it basically matters in the macro. And that was pretty much the only thing I cared about because I knew that's the big thing. I saw crypto and I saw the wave towards a more digital world, and that was pretty much the only thing I needed to be sold on it, especially with the metaverse. Actually, like I just believe that we're headed to more of a digital world every decade. We get more and more closer to more and more digital stuff. We got people like Elon Musk doing crazy wild shit. What are your thoughts on the metaverse, and do you think it's coming? Is it anything like we've seen? Is it far away?
So I think we still have like 5 to 10 years to go before we see adoption with that. I think we've got quite some time because let's face it, like we were able to build so much in 2022, like from 2020 to 2022, but it's like the whole, there's a lot of clickbait words I like Web3 or that I don't really care for, Web3 and metaverse and blah blah blah. Like, we actually need to have products. We're not even close to Web3. We're literally not close to Web3. I can't name one platform that is fully like Web3. Can you? That's fully Web3.
No.
Okay. So I think it's going to be 5 to 10 years to really make it to where the stuff is easy. Like today, for example, Ledger came out with their brand new Ledger that was co-created by the Apple dude, whatever. That's a step in the right direction for
Yeah.
adoption. Like, that's dope. It's literally like a cell phone. It's literally like a cell phone. And you can see your NFTs, you can see your crypto. It's so much easier to use because let's face it, ledgers are scary to use
Yeah.
and set up.
I'm with you
I
there.
cry.
I'm
It
with you
takes me
there.
2 hours to set it up and I cry.
I hate you. I still hate using my ledger. Anytime I have to do anything, if it involves my ledger, I have to think 10 or 15 times. I'm like, do I really like actually need to do this right now? And I'll connect it. It won't work. And then my ledger live won't connect. And I'm sitting there just like, oh, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's
But
funny.
we're getting closer to the metaverse being real, but I think 5 to 10 years. Like,
Yeah. That's
also too, look at Mark Zuckerberg. He failed miserably at it.
It's true. Yeah. He lost a ton of money. And well, actually, on a broader conversation there with a lot of the tech companies, my dad he works out in Silicon Valley, and basically up until a few months ago, those people out there were just, they could not take an L if they tried. And now everyone's getting laid off, but it seems like that should be like standard order of operations is how I looked at it. I'm interested to see what your perspective is on it. Like when attention and demand isn't there, of course you're going to scale down. Like when people are like, why are they firing people? I'm like, because they don't need this many people. And like Elon comes in, deletes all these people basically. What were your thoughts on the
Well,
whole
they weren't doing
Elon?
their job. Like, let's face it, Twitter's still a mess. There's lots of bots there, but like the people at Twitter, like they got caught censoring stuff. And again, just for your audience, like I am very libertarian. I'm live free, but harm none. Like, live your best life, do whatever you want to do, but do not harm anybody in the process. And if you can do that, I rock with you. So I think and like on Twitter, there's a lot of bad behavior happening. And just because somebody has a difference of opinion of you doesn't mean that they're wrong. It doesn't mean they're bad people. It's okay to have a difference of opinion. And if you're not able to explain or to express your difference of opinion, we don't learn. Like, I always look to my enemies or people I don't fuck with to get more understanding of their perspective. And I had to learn this in healthcare because I worked in HIV/AIDS for 7 years, and all my clients are all from different walks of life, and I couldn't provide them good healthcare unless I understood and I knew them. So the people at Twitter deserve to be fired because they weren't doing their job. And as far as all these other tech companies, I don't know, like, I mean, it's okay to scale back, but at the same time, this is when you want to kind of be building and focusing on creating better stuff. And now is the time to do it.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of that, there's a good question here from Parissa from Seed Phrase. Shout out Seed Phrase podcast. They're great. They're a great team of people. It says, as people with platforms in Web3, what is the best thing we need to do to provide value during these times? And I'm going to assume they mean in the way of content creation because that's the world we both are in.
Wait, say the last part again.
What is the best thing we need to do to provide value during these times? And I assume in content creation.
So the best way to provide value is continue to show up for your audience and to talk about things that you think people care about and to be yourself. I think that a lot of people they get, because there's so many YouTubers that they use scripts on tweet, like people on Twitter too. A lot of these influencers, Web3 influencers, they have PR companies, they have marketing companies like writing their stuff. So I think it's just important to be yourself and talk about things that you care about. But shout out to Fisher69. Wendy is a crack addict. No, Wendy just has ADHD and is on the spectrum, and that's what it is. And also to Crypto Cream said, I wonder if she'll talk about ally versus friends. So let's talk about ally versus friends really quick, and then we'll get back to your questions. But an ally is not your friend. And I learned this from my co-host Hotep Jesus. Basically, an ally is somebody that you vibe with just enough, but they can flip on you at any time. There's somebody that can be your enemy. So a friend is somebody that you're supposed to be able to trust, that you're supposed to have confidence in, that you can trust them. But an ally is somebody you just keep in your back pocket and you're cordial with, but understand that they'll flip on you when they can.
Damn, that's a very realistic. I love that answer. I would say that's pretty much spot on right there. Definitely spot on right there. What were we talking about right before? Oh yeah, as far as value that we can bring back. I think you also nailed that spot on. I would say the same. Whatever, or like if you can find some skills, like what I'm doing right now is finding some skills I can add to my current archive of skills and different knowledge and experiences, and seeing like where it fits, what can help my businesses. And I don't know, like I've seen a lot of Alex and Layla Hormozy. Like I don't know what your timeline looks like. They have completely taken over mine, and they've taken over, it seems like, the entire social media world. So all I see constantly is just like stack your skills, learn more skills, stack your skills, learn more skills. So that's the world I've been in, and then just finding ways to make content around that.
It's good to do that, but at the same time, you should focus on things that make you happy. And I feel like people want to stretch themselves too thin. And in the way that our society currently operates, because the economy is so shitty, is people are always looking for the next side hustle, always looking for the next side hustle. And that's good. I'm with it. But at the same time, we're going to get burned out. So figure out I think one thing is figure out what makes you happy and build around that. And if something's not making you happy, you're not vibing, it's okay to say no. It's okay to set a boundary. It's okay to quit. That's not bad. Doesn't make you a bad person.
Yeah. Do you think that's probably pretty powerful in how you've been able to continue making content over the years? Like your content has changed quite a bit, and obviously everything has upgraded and it's gotten better and better. Like if I went back and checked out a lot of your old videos, like we were saying,
they're terrible. I didn't know because I don't like being on camera. Like I hate being on camera. It's so weird that this is my job, but I'm a YouTuber. It's so weird to me. So like I just didn't know. Like I got an opportunity. Like I swear the reason why I started creating content was I started hosting the free meetups, because I started hosting my own meetups, because like fuck this, these ICO meetups or whatever they are, they want me to pay thousands of dollars. So what happened was I created the YouTube channel to live stream those to my global audience. I had like 5,000 followers or whatever. And then I started posting my Bitcoin analysis, like my TA and stuff. And so the channel started growing, and then I started doing news and interviews and whatever. So that was kind of the opportunity for that. And I don't know, it just ended up. And then also too, like for the market, as far as the market share goes, I have that on lockdown. I am the largest crypto and NFT YouTuber, female YouTuber in the world. Like I think there's one other channel that's might be bigger than mine, but she doesn't live stream and her stuff is very scripted, which that's fine. That's her business. And then there's another girl, her and her husband's channel, that's awesome. Good for them. But it's like, I pretty much have that market covered. And why would I stop?
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. Why would you stop? How do you think you got there? Is it do you think the live streams helped a bunch? Is that like one of the main differentiating factors?
The live streams did help, but I think I got there is just because I'm very strong-willed and I don't take shit from anybody. Like the way that I grew up in a household to where my mom was Sicilian Italian and very like super strict, and is like, I don't know, I'm just very, when I do something, I put my heart and soul into it, and I want to be the best at what I do, and I want to just keep getting better and better. And I one of the things too is I got trolled by dudes on the internet for so long. And I was like, fuck them. I'm gonna make them mad. As I'm also really petty. So my existence, literally me just being on the internet makes them mad. So that's one of the reasons why I kept doing it. I was like, oh, okay, you don't like me. You think I'm ugly, you think I'm all these things. But yeah, I'm petty. And it's like, I'm gonna prove you wrong. So I did.
I'm very similar in a petty nature. There's definitely a bunch of people that I don't care, but I care. You know what I mean? I'm just like, it's fine.
Yeah. And I mean also too, like, this might sound kind of cringe, but it's real. It's like when I go to events and I meet people, I have women that come up to me and hug me and are crying because they're like, "Thank you for representing us." And representation is important, but I don't like the gender thing that we experience. I feel like women do beautiful things, men do beautiful things, and we're all good in different things we do. But when you have people coming up to you and saying, "Thank you for being here,"
Yeah.
then that does make a difference. And also too, like, I want to represent. I have a 6-year-old daughter. Like, I want to represent for all the girls around the world that they can do whatever it is they want to do, just as long as they're decent and they show respect and they don't,
Is that something when you first started making content? Is that something you thought about when you were out there making videos? Is
no,
that something that's kind of
no.
grew on you?
I didn't know. Because I grew up hanging around a bunch of boys. Like, I used to hang out with the boys from the streets, with the football players at school, with the skater boys, the music men, love music men, love them. So I just was always one of the boys, and I didn't notice a difference between myself and the boys. Like, I don't, and maybe it's because I'm the firstborn and my dad passed away when I was younger, and I kind of felt like I need to protect my sisters and stuff. But I didn't really see a difference until like people started telling me there was a difference.
Yeah.
It's weird.
When did you have to start I don't know, kind of taking care of your siblings and stuff when that happened?
Well, it wasn't I had to take care of them, I just felt responsible for them, but my parents divorced when I was 7, and I was the oldest. My sisters were, like, 3 and 4, I think, at the time, so when we would have to go stay at my dad's house because my dad was ill, he couldn't take care of us, I would have to make sure, like, different things happened.
Mhm.
So, I felt that responsibility there, and, like, my sister was drowning in a pool. We were at my stepmom's house, and I had to rescue her because there was no I don't know where the adults are. It was really, really weird. But, like, since then, I always felt like I needed to protect my sisters. Then after he died, so probably at age 7, I felt that responsibility.
Wow. Are any of them into crypto land? Have you converted any of them?
My middle sister hates it because she doesn't like to be on the internet. It says that she
Mm,
hates it. She's just like, whatever. And then my baby sister wants to learn, but she's somebody that doesn't take responsibility for her actions and wants me to do all the work for her. And I don't do that. It's not something I would do for my daughter. Why would I do it for my
mm,
sister?
gotcha.
She did make
Um,
good money on Dogecoin though.
wait, was it off your call?
No, she's I guess she had heard it and she bought it like when it was around a penny or something like that. And then she's like, "Oh, I made all this money." I was like, "You should probably sell half of it." She's like, "Okay." So she did.
Oh, she did? She got the profits then?
Hell yeah.
Let's fucking go. I love it. I love it. Oh, I was gonna say there was a question I saw on Twitter. Here, let me screenshot one sec. Maybe not. So okay, so switching gears a little bit. So Art Basel just happened and they went crazy there. I don't know. How deep are you in like NFT Twitter and like NFT DJing culture? Like, are you involved in that? Do you pay attention to the drama stuff? Are you completely out of tune with it? Are you more focused on the market numbers, or like where's your main focus right now?
Hold on one second. Hold on one and
You're good.
call. Um, so the DJing culture we see on the internet is not real DJing culture. It to me it's laughable. Like I was like a legit DJing growing up, like from the age 13 to 21, like legitimate DJing. So when I see all this DJing culture, I'm all you all have no idea. Like you want to
Wait.
whatever.
What is true DJing culture? Paint a picture for us.
I don't know, sneaking out, going to gigs, being a mess, doing things you're not supposed doing every single thing your parents tell you not to do, hanging out with music men at a very young age, living in
Oh boy.
Hollywood, being around all kinds of literal degeneracy and just yeah, yeah, getting into fights, doing all kinds of really not terrible things, but just fun things. I don't know, very punk rockus. I don't know,
Yeah.
just fun.
Did you hit any low points during that time when you're kind of getting started earlier in your career? Do you have any massive pullbacks where you just like weren't expecting it, kind of set you back a little bit?
Just like the trolling from people on the internet, like I was one of the most hated people on crypto Twitter because they didn't want women around for a long time. So
Mm,
it was like whatever. So those things were hard. Like when you get death and rape threats and you get people that threaten that type of stuff against your 6-year-old and tell you like make fun of your appearance and all that type of stuff. It's not a fun thing. So that hurt. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep pushing and I'm going to be here. So keep trying to cancel me, do whatever it is you want to do. And it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you powered through and then you kept buying stuff. You kept buying crypto, kept buying NFTs. Do you remember your first NFT that you bought?
The
Not the one
first,
that you
and
were given, the first one that you bought.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. Actually, I think it was a Fame Lady Squad. I think that was the first one because I thought it was really because I'm a big advocate to raise awareness for DV and
Mhm.
that type of stuff. So the fact that the team was donating some of the profits that even though they kind of rugged, but they didn't because somebody else stepped in.
Mhm.
That was what I think that was the first one that we bought.
Gotcha. It's I think my first was Evaverse. It was like a gaming project that who was it? One of the YouTubers shilled it, I'm pretty sure, and I ended up buying into it. I ended up holding it for a long, long time, and it paid off. But there was a transition. Oh yeah, so I guess you've made content for a long time, and I know that you have a variety of different business ventures that you've been able to leverage through YouTube, which has been the coolest starting for me probably once I started getting a platform, and kind of utilizing that platform and leveraging for business and getting different opportunities. What kind of business ventures have you started? What kind of things do you offer? Is there anything that you fell in love with that came as a result of content creation that you didn't expect to jump into, basically?
I mean, I do consulting and stuff on the back end, but I'm not really offering any types of products because you as a like somebody who makes content, you have to be careful. Like crypto Twitter hates people that make money. They don't like paid groups, they don't like paid newsletters, they don't like a lot of that different stuff. So I just really haven't and I haven't even done merch. Like I've never profited off of my audience. Yes, I've done disclosed sponsored content, but I've never like charged my audience for anything. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Like there's a book I do want to write. There's 2 books that I want to write. I want to write
Ooh.
autobiography about my life. It's going to be half real, half fake. I want to also write a book on silent feminism because I think it's a lost art that a lot of women should consider practicing. You don't have to be super loud and vocal, but it's important to get your point across and to set boundaries. And you can do that while still being a lady and not being an annoying loud bitch.
Do you talk about that a lot in your content at all? Like, is that part of your personal brand that's big for you?
Which part?
Just about women empowerment and helping them out there.
I mean, I don't like to segregate women in crypto. Oh yeah, so Crypto Dream is like her articles, email. Yeah, we do have a free newsletter. We're scaling back on that because of the bear market, so we're still going to be
Mhm.
doing it biweekly. But we really like. I really just like to. I like to just empower people in general. I really, really do. Men are important, women are important, and I feel like we just need to stop fighting each other, and we just need to be decent. Like if you practice decency, your life is going to change.
Yeah. Are people decent to you in real life when you tell them that you operate in the crypto Web3 space?
Nobody fucks with me.
Damn. Yeah, I haven't found too many people who understand a lick of it, or even well, I guess they just don't have any real interest in it, which is it's still a tough sell sometimes for a lot
There's
of
no
people who would
reason to
just
have it.
casually do it. Yeah, it's pretty much an impossible sell at that point if they don't really have interest in it. At that point, it's kind of has to be like an autonomous decision on their own to be interested in it, to be able to go through all the bullshit that it kind of is involved with
It's not
jumping in.
easy. It's not easy in America. Honestly, too, Americans have been dumbed down so much. Like we're fucking lazy. We're literally
Yeah, we
lazy.
are.
If you look at our school system, we're taught in plain English, but all our laws and regulations are not passed in plain English. We're not taught about personal finance. We're not taught how to stand up to people. We're not taught to to do something different. We're literally taught you go to school, which again, I've got no issue with education. Okay. No issue with education, but we're literally taught to go to school, take out debt to increase our education so we can get a job, hopefully making 6 figures a year. And you're not guaranteed a job. Like that's some bullshit. They don't tell
Some
you how
bullshit.
loans work. They don't tell you how money works. They don't. So why would Americans? Why would America like? And plus our food too. Like all the crap that's in our food. It's crazy. Like even if you go like look at Mexican Coke, like Mexican Coca Cola. If you look at the ingredients on Mexican Coca Cola and you see what's in regular Coca Cola, big difference.
Hmm.
Big difference. Like we have so much processed food. We have so much crap in our food. We're literally being dumbed down 24/7, 365. And most people are just too lazy to break out of that matrix. And again, that's your personal business. I'm not telling y'all what to do, but it's just something that I refuse. I refuse to conform and to fall in line. Like, yes, I pay my crypto taxes. Yes, I follow laws. Yes, I do different things. But at the same time, I still advocate, like I still put my money where my mouth is. Like, and I still put in myself out there.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Facts. Mic drop. Mic drop right there. I don't even have a follow up to that one. Yeah, 100% mic drop. I was gonna pull up some questions from that had asked in, I think Discord is where I got it, or maybe TikTok. There's some interesting questions. Like one question I love, which I don't think I've asked this question before. Do you have any thoughts, like, or I guess what are your thoughts when you're like going for a walk or something, when you're not specifically plugged into the matrix of the Web3 world at your studio? When you're out going for a walk or something, like, where do your thoughts drift to? Are they towards family? Are they towards like different content ideas? Like, where does your head usually naturally go?
I'm very manic and I've got really bad ADHD and I also have like a really bad chronic anxiety and depression. So it kind of depends. Like I've got like 4,000 things running through my mind at a time. So it really, really depends like how I'm feeling that day or what's on my mind. I try to do a lot of manifesting and being positive about stuff. Because my mind, it's easy to become negative, but I
Mm,
make lists of things. So I don't know. It literally depends like what's on for the day. I think about food a lot because food makes me happy.
what kind of
Like, I'm
food?
thinking about right now what I'm thinking right now because 'cause I'm looking at my list of stuff I gotta do. I got a couple things I have to do after I get off with you, a couple calls, and I'm like, "Should I eat or work out? And what should I eat?
That's
Should I do an
always the
egg
question.
sandwich with avocado and ham and mayonnaise and
Oh,
chipotle ranch?" Like, I'm thinking about food right now.
it sounds nice. Yeah, now I am as well. I love it. I love it. Have there been any tips that you have from? I'm also big into visualization. I think it's probably one of the main reasons I'm here, to be honest. It's really, really helps me keep like a good North Star. And do you have any tips for that? Like, have you used like lists? Is there something that you stick by that has worked for you?
I'm still trying to figure that out. Lists help me, but I do a lot of just I like in the morning I like to wake up and I've got like little mini rituals I do. Like I wake up, I wash my face, and then I go kiss my baby, and then I go and I do like as I'm making my coffee, I do like a 5-10 minute workout while the coffee is brewing, and then I try to sit down and read a real book and then do little positive manifestations and stuff like that. That's like little routines are helpful for me, and then I just try to make it um I'm just trying to make it, through the day without
Yeah.
having a meltdown.
I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, sometimes it's been hard for me too, even though I know for a fact it's important to take that time for yourself. It just sometimes feels like with crypto that everything is weighing on itself and it matters, has to come up right now. You got to do things this minute. It's got to happen today. And it is definitely difficult. And I've seen a lot of people talk about mental health in the NFT space, or NFT and crypto space. And in this bear market, I feel like a ton of people completely crash out. And I hope they're putting to use that time, I guess, because I no doubt they'll come back in the bull run, probably at the peak again, and they'll jump back in when everyone's ready to sell on them all over again. And so I guess not to completely switch subjects there, but what are you looking for in the next bull run? Like, are you pretty much going to have the same strategy? Is there any crazy plays you got like up your sleeve or anything like that?
I do wanna hire, like, an in-house producer, but it's just to do the same stuff that I'm doing. Like, obviously, I'm gonna adapt with the content, like, depending on what people are interested in and what I'm interested in. I'm not gonna be a sellout, obviously, because I think that's really, really lame, and I'll probably get less opportunities, so that's fine too. But I
Yeah,
really think the next bull run is gonna be brought in by NFTs and by play to earn and by real music NFTs and, like, projects that are actually making it easier to do anything with NFTs. A lot of people not gonna they're gonna miss out on that because 'cause they're not gonna watch for that, but that's my personal opinion. I just gotta hope it plays out.
yeah. Do you um Do you envision it a similar run as far as, like, price? I know some people aren't sure that Bored Apes would ever get back to a certain price range. What are your thoughts on that entire topic of it getting to the same price points in
That
2021?
doesn't matter. The market's gonna decide. The problem is people have this idea. So the way that I look at the current NFT ecosystem, it's literally like buying and selling stuff on eBay. That's how I paid for community college, is flipping used designer goods on eBay. Okay.
Nice.
So people want to have this idea, and the problem with NFTs is a lot of these motherfuckers don't take profit. They bag hold this stuff to zero.
They
If
do.
you sell an NFT, it's a big crime. It's a big issue. Like, oh my God. The way that I trade NFTs, I try to buy two and then sell one for profit and hold one. I didn't do that with the Utes or the tubes or whatever because it was like kind of expensive considering like the type
Yeah,
of market. I was just like, whatever.
true.
I'm gonna sell that when that thing pumps. So I should have sold it when like Franklin and sold it the tube before minting because I didn't get the best one. But
Damn.
I think the problem is people need to stop having expectations for the market. Market don't give a fuck about you. It doesn't. Sell when things are high and sell when you can take profit and understand you're never going to sell the top, you're never going to buy the bottom, and you just want to make as much money as ethically as possible.
Yeah. Have you been approached to do like any kind of projects? I assume with your platform, the size you're at,
Oh, all
I
the time.
assume you've been pitched 100 million times about projects.
All the time. So I have my wendio.eth address so people can send me free NFTs that they want. I'm never going to sell them. Like, I don't plan to. I'm going to pass them down to my daughter. But the only project I agreed to partner with was Stata Labs because they did all of the work for me for an NFT project, and all of my money that I got was going to be donated to the Self Care Lab, which is a nonprofit that focuses on using boxing as a form of mental health for inner city kids. So every single penny I've gotten from that goes directly to them. That was the only reason why I agreed to do it, is because there was no expectations from the community. I don't have enough time to manage a community and to promise utility and those things. The utility from that NFT project was, if you buy this, that means that the money is going for charity. I'm not getting it. I'm not profiting it. And there's no, like, that's a utility. It's going to help the kids. And there's not going to be a community. There's not going to be a Discord. There's not going to be any fancy smancy things, announcements. It's literally buy, sell, trade them. The royalties go to the gym.
I love it. I love it. Well, it sounds like that's important to you, is giving back. What in like high school and like that age or that time period, I guess, for yourself, like high school, college, early 20s, basically, did you have any kind of support? Was that something you struggled with? Like, what were you like in high school? What was your high school, college
I
life
left
experience?
my sophomore year to home study because I was in a really abusive relationship, and I was like, I had my glow up early freshman year, like end of 8th grade. I had my glow up, and like I started getting the attention of boys and stuff, and plus I had daddy issues, so I was got in this really abusive relationship when I was
Oh
like
no.
13, 14 years old, freshman year. And I just became really bitter and it really broke me down and fucked me up. So I just was so irritated and over high school. I was like, this is stupid. Plus I was really sick too. I had a lot of really bad anxiety and depression that went undiagnosed for a long time. And I would have these like fits where I would just fall asleep during the daytime. I wasn't well. So I just kind of got irritated with everybody and everything. And sophomore year, I was able to convince my mom to let me go to homeschool, which is great because I was able to get a full-time job and go to start community college. But then I started getting in a lot of trouble, not like crime trouble, but I just started making lots of bad decisions, and I eventually couldn't finish school because I finished high school, but like college I never was, because I didn't have money. So it's not like I got to go to, like, I had to kind of pick between working, and because then I lived on my own when I was 18 because my mom was so strict. So I had
Yeah.
to pick between working or being in this really terrible environment at my mom's house, because just 4 of us in a 2-bedroom townhome, and it was me, my mom, my 2 sisters in one room, my grandma and my great aunt in the other, and I just wanted to get out. So I did, and then I made a lot of terrible life decisions. I was homeless for a bit, and then at 21, like mid when I was like 21, I kind of got my stuff together, and then I was able to work in a thrift store, and they offered educational reimbursement to work in healthcare because they were a big HIV/AIDS company. So then after I got my stuff together, I got like a certification to work in healthcare, and then started making $15 an hour. I was so happy, and I did that for 7 years, and then I was in school that entire time. I was back in community college. I was getting ready to transfer to public university because I was told, like, you have to have a degree to make money. And then like crypto started doing really well for me. So I finished the degree for my dad, not for myself, because I think college degrees are a scam. And yeah, but I was always like the mom out of the friend group. Like, I always made sure, like, all the boys used to sleep on my floor, sleep under my bed, and like I used to take everybody in all the time. And I was the one that needed to be taken care of.
Mm, that's very insightful, and I agree. Crypto Dream. Yep, I appreciate the real talk. That is super inspirational.
Thank you.
Yeah. Damn. Through my high school and college years, it was also a ton of, well, for me, it was more struggling with, probably just identity issues. Probably the easiest way to just explain that entire period of my life. Not that I've completely worked through it, just in general, working through all that stuff. Like during that
Yeah.
time, it's wild how many decisions you have to make on top of all the pressure you have to be this or not be this or be that or whatever. And I'm really glad that for myself, at least, I had maybe 16 years before phones were like introduced and social media. Like, I think I was 17 when I first like found an Instagram influencer, and then kind of things started to change from there. But like, I remember when I was growing up, like, people would ask me, because I was doing weightlifting and like bodybuilding stuff, and typically they ask, like, how'd you do that? And you're like, well, I lifted for like 6 years before I even saw an Instagram influencer. So I never thought about cutting. I wasn't worried about abs the first 5 years. I was kind of built. And now we're in a world where everybody starts with social media, essentially, right? And you've got a child who's young. What are your thoughts on the whole world of social media?
So social media is good, but it's dangerous because a lot of people aren't able to separate reality from fake. And we have all these really insane beauty standards for women. And it's so funny. Like I have guys that are like, "Oh, you're fucking ugly," blah, 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 blah. And it's like when I'm not wearing makeup, it's like, no shit, I'm not wearing makeup. But then if I put on a bunch of makeup, I've got my face contour, or whatever. She's got all this plastic surgery. She's got all this work. So it's like, make your mind up, okay? And like the whole like degrading women online, if she's not fucking you at night, it's not your business what she looks like. Okay.
Like drop.
Number two, the social media stuff, like it's good, but I'm very honest. And that's why I don't get a lot of interaction on some of my tweets and some of my content because it's literally me. It's not scripted. I'm not doing it for clicks. Like it's literally, it is what it is. Social media is good, but if you're going to use social media, you need to determine what is real and what isn't. And you need to stop letting personal bias get in the way. My daughter's 6 years old. She is a musician. She is not, I would love to like put her out in the public, but there's so many sick people, especially in crypto, that I just not comfortable with that yet. Like I've got the music industry connections, like I've got all kinds of stuff, but it's not the right time. When she's ready to, then we'll discuss it. But also, guys, don't put your kids on social media, please, 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 please.
Yeah. What are the sort of things in regards to? I'm hoping. Well, at least I don't think I'm going to be a parent anytime soon. But for the people who are going to be parents out there, maybe like what you got some parent alpha that you could drop, things that maybe you didn't expect or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I am cussing crypto dreams. Sorry.
Oh my
So like you're never like there's no guide to being a parent. There's no guide to being a parent. You're going to make lots of mistakes, and that's okay. But it's important to like I think that it's important to live in a two-parent household. I don't care if it's two of the same. I don't care what it is, but it's important to be in a two-parent household. So before you want to have kids, try to plan it out as much as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just understand like once you do decide to have kids, your life is going to change and your priority is to make is to keep your children healthy and safe. And part of doing that is working hard and whatever. And as far as being a parent, like talk to you. Like if you don't plan on hanging out with your kid, don't have one. Don't have one. And just know you're going to make mistakes and just do the best you can. Like watch your kids, but let them kind of be free. Like we said, like I taught my daughter how to set boundaries. Like she's very polite, but if she don't want to talk to you, she'll say, I need space. She's like space. So we teach her that. I teach her about positive affirmations and like being of service, being kind to people, but at the same time setting boundaries. So I don't know, just figure out what works for you, what your intentions are, like your morale, like your all of that, like your just figure out, just do the best job that you can and just understand that it's a long process and it's something that's not, try to keep the family together best that you can.
Yeah. Well, with the invention of the internet and the ability to know everybody's stories and to have an inside look, like especially with TikTok. TikTok's like famous for blowing people up who are very, very, very normal, and they just have a very relatable video that pops off, and people just connect with that person or that individual. And basically, we're seeing an inside look onto millions of people's lives, which we didn't have access to up until just a few years ago. And I think that probably puts a lot of young people, especially, in some level of paralysis where they don't feel like they know enough. So they're just going to keep consuming information until they know everything.
You're
Especially
never
something
going to
like as
know
big as a
everything though.
baby. Yeah.
You're never gonna know anything, and, like, a lot of the stuff that people post on the internet is fake. Like, I keep my personal like, my relationship status private. I keep the different things private with my kid because it's nobody's business. It's really, really not. Like, it's not gonna help you do anything knowing my personal business, and it's not good for my child. So, it's important to have privacy and to separate stuff, and it's important to set boundaries and teach your kids how to set boundaries and not believe everything you see. Like, just because there's an
Mhm.
influencer that you can relate to, etcetera, but at the same time it's not real life. Like, my house is a damn mess. My daughter's room is a mess. She's in there sick right now. She's got a cold. She's home with me. But, like,
Oh,
your house, like, these things that you see, the, like, perfection, that's not real. It's just not.
speaking of perfection and social media perfection, walk us through a day in your life of Crypto Wendy. Wakes up, it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday, maybe a Wednesday.
Okay. So I try to wake up at 5, but I hit the snooze button lots of times 'cause I'm going through like a depressive state right now. So I get up by like 6:30. Go do my coffee, go do my mini routine, try to read a book, try to manifest, get my kid up. She is fist fighting me, get her breakfast made, get her lunch made. I check some of my work stuff. I get my ass out of the house with her, drop her off at school, come back. I have to be ready to go live on CoinDesk at 9 a.m. Then I prep for my show. I've got about 20 minutes. I go live at 10 a.m. And then I've got a big list of things that I have to go through. I have to go through emails, through Telegram chats, through DMs. I've got like 5 different emails we have to go through. Then I need to get a workout in. I have to record a second media piece. I got to do TikToks, got to post stuff. And then I got to be done to get my kid picked up by 3 o'clock, unless her dad's going to get her, and then try to cook dinner and try to stay off social media.
What help do you have from that? Like, do you have an editor? Do you have anyone who helps? If you don't
Yeah.
have to share it, but if you want.
Yeah, so I have who do I have? I've got somebody that helps with graphics and editing, but we don't like, since the market is so slow, I'm doing more live streams because it's more
Mhm.
fun. I do the TikToks myself, but I also have somebody that sends me notes in the morning to help me like prep for the news. Like I pull most of the
Nice.
news stories myself, but they help get me a preface of what we're going to talk about, because I'm like all over the place. I
Mhm.
review charts also too to see if I want to take a trade. I haven't been doing a whole lot of trading, but we do. And then I got to talk with like my lead that kind of helps manage everything, and then like my assistant that helps manage everything, and we just try to stay organized with that type of stuff. But I do have people that help. I've got somebody that vets stuff. So like, let's say a project wants to come on the show, or we get a guest that wants to come on a show, we look into you and we make sure that you're semi safe.
Yeah.
And we do the best that we can. And then I've got a web dev, and so yeah, I just got people that do different things. And yeah.
That's awesome, especially for people who are the beginning or the middle, or even at my place in the journey, just somewhere along the journey, and just hearing where you're at, because you're definitely at a place where people look at you and go, "Damn, that's gonna be super cool." And I hope that during this podcast, they see it hasn't just been one little quick video here, a TikTok there, and
No.
blowing up. You know, it was a
No,
very long process.
I spent, because I'm very different, and my personality is like, you have to get, if you don't know me or listen to my content, you're not gonna like me, because I'm very much like a pretty aggressive, just because of how I grew up. So my content is different. Like I'm not super girly, I'm not super feminine. I'm just very much kind of in your face, and that's kind of off-putting for people at times. But at the same time, like I'm not going to change who I am to appease anybody, because it's not doing anybody a service. And
Yeah.
it took me years. I started the YouTube channel summer of 2018. So I've been doing this for a long time. It's not just I started the channel and I blew up. Like, you know.
Yeah, totally, totally. And yeah, Patrick in the house, that investor. Yeah, no, there's a bunch of changes. You know, I've been making videos since 2010. It started with soccer,
Wow.
fitness, like self-help, just basically everything. I did vlogs. Last year I went and traveled and did a whole bunch of stuff. Yes. And yeah, so it was a long process for me too with YouTube, and it took me way longer than people think to get anything going. It took me 10 years basically to get myself to a position where I would be good to go. And it's been a very long process, and I do appreciate you coming on. I hope a ton of people got a bunch of value from this, and I know they did, because we covered literally everything. So I just want to ask you like one rapid fire, 2 questions, super quick, so I know we got to get you out of here. What is let's see. Favorite food chain?
Favorite food chain?
Yeah, just 2 rapid
Okay.
fire random questions. Favorite
Okay.
food chain.
In-N-Out, and then on Saturday mornings, Chick-fil-A breakfast.
Let's fucking go. That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Okay, and then do you well, I know you have tattoos. Do you have a favorite tattoo?
Um, I'll just give you one. This one is probably my favorite one, because I paid my friend 2 Jack in the Box tacos when they were like 2 for $1 to do it in his bedroom, and he smelt so bad, because he always smelled bad. He still smells bad to this day, from what I've heard. And it's a fuzzy bat. And then my other tattoo artist that did my back and some other things, she's like, "Oh, I'll fix this for you." So we fixed it. But that's probably
Let's go.
my funniest tattoo. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Guys, thank you so much for being here, especially if you're here live. Code word you made to the end is Wendy in all caps. Wendy's going to make it for sure. And listen, I really appreciate you coming on and spending an hour with me. I know you've got a busy day. So thank you so much for coming on. This was a great time.
Awesome. Send me an email, or send me a DM so I can get you on my show too.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Okay.
Guys, awesome. Make sure to click the like button, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom. All her links are down below in the description. Make sure to subscribe. And until next time, continue on your Joyage, continue to learn, and be grateful you're alive watching this video.
Bye.
Bye.